good feeling. This place is jumping off hard as it can get. No, we won't ever stop dancing on the edge. We like it dangerous, we like to see you spit. Turn up another notch, you ain't seen nothing yet. Let me tell you something, let me tell you something. Let me tell you something, let me tell you something. Right now, 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 right now. Got a real good feeling, got a real good feeling. Like there is lightning deep in my bones. Got a real good feeling, I won't hit no ceiling. I'm going higher than I've ever known. Yeah, I got a real good feeling, I won't hit no ceiling. Like there is lightning deep in my bones. Got a real good feeling, I won't hit no ceiling. I'm going higher than I've ever known. Got a real good feeling. Right now, 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 right now. Right now, right now. Oh, I got a real good feeling. Got a real good feeling. Like there is lightning deep in my bones. Yeah, I got a real good feeling. I won't hit no ceiling. I'm going higher than I've ever known. Yeah, I got a real good feeling. Got a real good feeling. Like there is lightning deep in my bones. Yeah, I got a real good feeling. I won't hit no ceiling. I'm going higher than I've ever known. I got a real good feeling.
Hey guys, what's going on? Jeb here, and in today's video, we are going to be discussing Bitcoin, and we are going to be talking about a Bitcoin price prediction in light of the massive rally that we have just seen on Cardano. I am joined today by my co-host, Smay, otherwise known as Smee the Tree.
Hello, everybody.
Shout out to Smay. He will be filling in for our absent regular co-host, Tim, although we will be hearing a little bit about him a little bit later. I'm also joined by my filling-in producer, who's filling in for Smay, who's filling in for Tim. Definitely not high, Zach, who is definitely not high. Welcome to Coffee and Crypto, everybody. We have our coffee. We are actually drinking some. This is not water. This is coffee. And I am desperately in need of it. Guys, we have some very important technical analysis to do on Bitcoin. We have some price predictions to make. We have some Cardano annoyances to talk about. And we have some huge adoption stories going on. We're talking about the Vanic Bitcoin ETF being brought up again by the Securities and Exchange Commission. We have Jerome Powell coming out of the Fed talking about different things having to do with Bitcoin adoption and how it's a hedge against the US dollar. And we're going to talk about how Cardano just rallied all the way back to all-time high in light of it being listed on Coinbase Pro today. Shout out to everybody who has joined on in. We're going to start out by going over our price predictions for Cardano that we made yesterday. Smay, would you like to tell us a little bit about that?
Yes. So, to go over our predictions, so my prediction, guys, which unfortunately, I failed at. My prediction was $1.30. Jeb, you want to say your prediction? It was
Yes, I believe that Cardano. I almost said Bitcoin. Could you imagine if Bitcoin went to $1?
That would be tragic.
That would be awesome. I would buy so much Bitcoin. That is the one time where I might consider taking out a loan to buy Bitcoin. Otherwise, don't do that. Yeah. My price prediction on Cardano was $1.35. Honestly, I thought that was aggressive, but...
Yeah, and then for our good friend Tim, he won. He won. With $1.40, guys.
Yep.
$1.40. He was the one who won it. And we're going to let Zach, if you wanted to go ahead, and he shared us, he gave us a little piece he wanted you to read, so...
And for the record, Cardano is sitting at $1.43 right now, everybody.
43. This is what your president, your person, your team Tim, the politician wanted to say. I want to thank everyone who voted Team Tim. This was not my victory, but our victory. I want to thank you for believing in me as I have believed in you. I am looking forward to serving you in your best interest day in and day out. 4 more years. 4 more years. 4 more years, guys. 4 more years.
You heard it here first, folks. Tim, President Tim, believes that he should have 4 more years in office because he is so good at making price predictions. Shout out to Tim. We will hand it out to him. Even though he's not here today, from the grave, I'm kidding, he's fine. He made a price prediction that came true. We're sitting at $1.42 on Cardano. We're going to be talking about all of that and more in this video. Smay, I think there's something that you wanted to go over at the beginning of this stream. I completely forgot what it was, but it was...
it was a stimmy, guys.
Stimmies, the stimulus checks.
So I got my stimmy, guys. I just want to put this out there, guys. I have not been a no coiner for a while now. I just want to put this out there. It was that one day that I said I was a no coiner. It was that one day that I was a no coiner.
He literally sold his cryptocurrency, went on stream, and then bought the next day.
Yeah.
I was like, why did you tell everybody you're a no coiner then?
Because I thought it would be funny, but then you guys like witch hunted me. So, anyways, yeah, obviously you got the stimmy. Yeah, you obviously got to buy some coin. You know what I mean? So I'm saying I got my stimulus check. And the reason why I brought this up is because I'm pretty sure a lot of people got their stimulus checks around the same time. And so I think it's, obviously there's a lot of people are sitting on a lot of extra cash that they can, go and buy up a lot of cryptocurrency. So we're seeing kind of a perfect storm for a lot of, especially with this Cardano going on Coinbase news and stuff like that. We're about to see something pretty substantial. So
yeah, absolutely, guys. And that's the main point of this stream is we're talking about the huge adoption stories going on. There's a perfect storm. There's a trifecta of amazing news going on in the cryptocurrency world right now. Number one, this is the one that we're going to start with. This is the big news. Cardano being listed on Coinbase Pro and in the future more than likely coming to Coinbase relatively soon. First of all, that is incredible. It's caused Cardano to rally 44% in the last 2 days. For everybody holding Cardano, give me a 1 in chat if you're happy about that. I'm expecting to see how many viewers we have, 670 ones in chat. On top of that, we have a ton of news about Bitcoin's adoption and regulatory clarity. We have stimulus checks coming out. Tax returns are coming out. We're moving out of Q1, which is historically a downtrending month for cryptocurrencies. And what are we doing? We're sitting right at all-time high already. On top of that, we're in the middle of the first half of a huge bull market that people are already predicting $200,000 price targets on Bitcoin in the next couple of years, and everything is coming together perfectly right now. We're going to be discussing all of that and more in today's live stream. I want to open the floor to one question, and then we are going to go ahead and move on to Cardano. Is there anything great going on in chat right now,
Yeah, they're all spamming ones right now.
They're all spamming.
Yeah, so
okay,
let's give them a second to catch up.
Let's give you guys a second.
Let's see. Come on, guys. Put a question in the chat. Don't make me look stupid.
Let's get a question on chat. Smay, you look a little out of focus there.
Look a little out of focus.
Ooh. Yeah.
What's that about, huh?
What's that about? Let's see if we can fix that.
You had it there for a second.
See where it says blue on his stand? Try and focus to that. There you go, right there. That looks good. Awesome. We have to, by the way, while we're waiting on a comment, I'll tell you guys why. For any camera nerds out here, you might notice Smay and I look very different. There are 3 different cameras from 3 different ecosystems in here right now. This is a Canon EOS R, this is a Blackmagic 6K, and there's an A6400 on Zach. I'm bringing this up because one of our cameras went down and is being sent in for repairs right now, which sucks. The good news is we're probably about to buy a really, really nice cinema camera for the studio and for our sets. Yeah. So we're in discussions about that. Look forward to even more upgrades to our quality coming pretty soon.
Doing the research, guys. You already know. Yep. I just want to say, it is very much like with lately the amount of technical difficulties we've had, it has been so much of like really trying to navigate, and the camera went down. So it's been a lot, guys, but just trust me, if you hang in there, a lot of this stuff is going to improve. We're going to be in good shape. Everything's going to be vibing. We're going to be happy vibing. It's going to be great. So
yeah, guys, I appreciate you being patient with us over the last month or so that we've been moving everything around. We're really getting to the flow of things. I think we're really starting to figure out exactly how we want to run this show, and I feel like every single show is getting better than the last. Are there any good questions that we can talk about, or should we move on to our Cardano TA?
Yeah, so there was kind of some questions about what was going on with the ADA conference today that they're doing in Africa that we kind of mentioned yesterday.
Right.
I'm going to go ahead and look up what time that is, because I don't know what time it is.
So you go ahead and look into that, and I'll go ahead and jump us on into our Cardano technical analysis, and then we'll discuss that a little bit later, guys. Let's go ahead and jump straight on to ADA, because as you guys know, Cardano has had a massive rally in the last 2 days. In 2.5 days, Cardano managed to rally nearly 50%. from where it was trading around $1 all the way to its current all-time high that we hit again last night of $1.48. We rallied to this all-time high for the first time on February the 27th. We just rallied here again in 2 days. Again, remember, if you guys didn't see this on Tuesday, around 3 o'clock Eastern Time Tuesday, Coinbase announced that Coinbase Pro would be adding a trading pair for Cardano over, I think it's US dollars, it might be Bitcoin. Is it Bitcoin or US dollars? Do you happen to know that?
For what was the question?
ADA? ADA, it's a US dollar or it's a Bitcoin pair. I'm completely blanking. I went on Coinbase Pro and looked at it. Either way, there's a trading pair coming to ADA. I think it's ADA over Bitcoin. Nevertheless, that led to a huge rally on Cardano. When you see an adoption story like this, it throws the technical straight out the window, and that's why we've been talking about Cardano for the last 3 days, is because technically speaking, we should have seen a drop, but this is a good example of where fundamentals are king. So zooming back out to the daily chart, I want to show you the 3 major levels of resistance that we drew in yesterday's live stream. Guys, we drew these yesterday, and Cardano has already broken them. This red level right here at $1.30. This red level right here at $1.36. If you want to find out why those are important levels, I encourage you to watch yesterday's stream. Doesn't really matter anymore because now they're levels of support. Cardano has broken above them, so let's change them blue to represent support. We can also see that Cardano has had a bullish MACD cross in the last 24 hours as a result of this major movement. This is a huge deal. And the fact of the matter is, guys, whenever Bitcoin or Cardano or any other cryptocurrency has a strong bullish MACD cross, you very commonly see a large rally on that cryptocurrency. For example, the last time that we had a strong MACD cross to the upside, a bullish MACD cross on Cardano, was right here back on the 1st of February. And as you can see, within 26 days, we rallied 322 percentage points. It makes sense that Cardano would be fulfilling that $2 price target in the next 30 days that we made yesterday. Might come in more like 3 days, not 30 days, may end up happening a lot faster than we thought. Right now, Cardano is deciding whether or not it wants to set a double top at $1.48, and if it doesn't manage to set a double top, and it does break bullish here, guys, the sky is the limit, and our next price targets would be as follows. We would be looking at 2. We'd be looking at $1.75. I'm going to set these, and then I'll explain them. We'd be looking at $1.75 right here, and then we would also be looking at $2 flat, which I will set right here. Let me go ahead and set these to red for you so that they are color correct. These are our next major levels of resistance, guys. If we break all-time high, this is where you should be looking to either exit a long trade, like a short-term long trade, or be looking to open a trade if we break them. Reason being for these 2 levels. Number one, $1.75 is 3/4 of the way between $1 and $2. That makes it something called a mass psychological big even. For anyone in CT2A, drop a 1 in chat if you're an alumni of the Academy. $1.75 is a mass psychological level of resistance. Why? Because it's a nice even whole number. People like to put their trades around numbers like that. The next level of resistance would, of course, be $2 flat, and that's our price target that we have for the end of this 30-day period. That's probably going to come quite a bit faster. As far as the rest of the technicals are concerned, guys, they just don't really, quite frankly, matter right now. TD sequential's not overextended. Volume has exploded, which means that we're in a strong uptrend again. That is fantastic news. 20 EMA's fine. Bollinger Bands, I will say we're overextended on the Bollinger Bands, and we could probably do with a small corrective movement. Maybe before we break $1.48, we have a small correction. We pull back 10 cents or so for a day or two. Other than that, guys, everything looks peachy keen. The fundamentals are strong. It would make sense to have Cardano going to $2 in the next 30 days. Maybe even a lot faster than that. I want to hear your take on that in the comments. Smay, did you find anything on that ADA conference?
Yes, I'm glad you asked. So, I'm not very well versed in military time, but this is basically the only time I can find was essentially it's happening 13 p.m.
That's 1 p.m.
1 p.m., thank you.
Yep.
And GMT.
Greenwich Mean Time. So it's happening 1 o'clock GMT, which would be 5 or 6 o'clock here.
See, I don't know what I could do without you, Jeb. You're just so brilliant.
Well, I don't know what I could do without Google because that's actually 9 p.m. Eastern Time. Okay. So 9 p.m. Eastern Time is the time frame we're looking for.
Okay, so 9 p.m. So essentially, guys, it's a pre-recorded talk. So we're gonna find out. So I guess this is just really an announcement talking about its kind of development. So we're gonna keep an eye on this. 9 p.m. If something really big happens, we might talk about it tomorrow. But I'll definitely check it out and see if anything really interesting comes out of it. 9 p.m.
Absolutely, guys. So we'll keep you posted on that talk coming from Charles that will be going out 9 p.m. Eastern time. If you guys are in the East, or if you guys are on the East Coast, it's 1 p.m. Greenwich Mean Time, I believe. Fact check me on that. I don't have that information right in front of me. We're going to talk quite a bit about Bitcoin in today's video. We've done a lot on Cardano recently. If you just tuned in, I just did some analysis on the 88 Cardano chart, and I told you guys how the technicals and the fundamentals are both saying it's possible and that it's likely that we're going to $2 relatively soon. Now I want to throw it back and put it on the table, the discussion about whether or not we have a perfect storm brewing. I personally believe there is a perfect storm of bullishness brewing. We have like 5 different topics that we're going to hit really quickly. The very first one I want to talk about is stimulus checks, and all of this is going to build into the concept of Cardano knocked over the first domino, which is going to knock over more dominoes, which is going to knock over more dominoes, which is going to continue leading us in this bullish cycle, building momentum, building adoption, building hype, and building higher price targets. We have so much to talk about today, guys, but I want to start with stimulus checks. Smay, I know you said that you have your stimulus check coming in. Yeah. I want to hear what you are planning on doing with your stimulus check. If you're going to put it into cryptocurrency, and what do you think about how many people are going to put it into cryptocurrency? And give us a 1 in chat if you're planning on using your stimmy to stimulate your cryptocurrency wallet. You see what I did there? Throwing it back to Smay. Let's see it.
All right. So first of all, before I start about my stimulus check, I do want to clarify. So people are saying that it already came out. I was just going off of what I looked up when I looked it up real quickly, but if it is out, then I'll watch that after the stream at some point, just so you guys know. Doesn't change the fact that we're not watching it live on stream. Just gonna put that out there. So with the stimulus check, all right, guys, let me be real. We're gonna be real with each other real quick. I bought a VR headset, but it wasn't the entire stimulus check. So the rest of the stimulus check. Okay, the rest of the stimulus check, I do plan on. I'm personally with my investments. I'm wanting to stick towards the top 5. Yes. So I'm probably gonna I'm probably gonna buy into some more. I already have some Bitcoin. I have some Ethereum. I'm probably gonna expand my positions on Bitcoin a little bit more, and then probably as soon as Cardano's listed on Coinbase, I'm probably gonna dive in, get some more get some Cardano. So
yeah, and the reason I bring this up, guys, is because it's one of many factors going on in cryptocurrency right now that I think are going to lead to massive amounts of rallies in Bitcoin and cryptocurrencies. Guys, the federal government just passed a $1.9 trillion bill, and many billions of that are going directly into stimulus checks. They're going directly into stimulating the economy. Understand this. All of cryptocurrency, a 12-year-old industry now, is only worth $1.7 trillion, and the federal government just printed 1.9 out of thin air. There are billions of dollars going out to the millions and millions of people in America that are eligible for stimulus checks, and you can bet your bottom dollar that when people get that and they see that there's a lot of hype going on around Bitcoin, and everybody wants to jump into Bitcoin and play the freaking crypto lottery, they are going to join the cryptocurrency revolution. They're going to put money in these projects. So be looking out for that, guys. When we talk about technical and fundamental analysis is chart reading. That's how we analogize. We use an analogy of counting cards whenever you're playing blackjack. If you count the cards, the odds may forever be in your favor, and you will be able to win more often than you'll lose. You're not going to win every trade, but you will win more than you lose. That's what technical analysis is. Fundamental analysis is understanding how to play blackjack and understanding the strategy. It's not necessarily cheating, if you will. That's why we call technical analysis a little bit of a cheat code, but it's a legal cheat code. It's a very, very powerful cheat code. The fact of the matter is, guys, whenever the fundamentals are strong, the technical analysis takes a little bit of a backseat, and the fundamentals are incredibly strong right now, namely coming out of these stimulus checks. If there is anything that we should discuss, then let me know, Smay. But otherwise, I want to move on to a couple of big news stories. I'm going to go kind of shallow in these, but I do want to talk about them. Do you have anything, my friend?
Well, I mean, just real quick, I just want to clarify. Like, look, guys, I'm buying cryptocurrency. Like, just because I didn't use the entire stimulus check, like, come on, you guys, chill out a little bit. You know what I mean? I can buy a VR headset.
Yeah,
I can buy nice things, guys.
Don't act like y'all ain't buying VR headsets and like motorcycles and all kinds of stuff. PS5. Don't add us like that.
I'm a 20-year-old dude. All right, like I'm not gonna put all my money in investments.
This man can buy himself a VR headset if he wants, so long as he brings it into the office and lets us try it out. I've never actually used a VR headset.
Really? I used it for the first time at Dave & Buster's the other day, and that's why I bought one.
Oh, really?
Yeah, because I was like, I've never used it in my entire life. I was like, it's amazing.
I've heard Dave & Buster's is basically adult Chuck E. Cheese.
Yeah.
I wouldn't trust a single thing that they serve there, to be honest with you.
Really?
Have you ever seen that? Okay, I don't watch this guy. I forgot his name. He's the dude that does all the conspiracies. This is so off topic. He did the
I
Chuck
know
E.
you're talking
Cheese.
about the Shane Dawson with
The Shane
used
Dawson, that's his
pizza.
name, with the different
used
sized
pizza
pizzas.
slices. Yeah,
Chuck E.
yeah.
Cheese like puts your pizza slices back together in like a Frankenstein pizza, and it's disgusting. Anywho, the only time I've ever used VR was with the little Google Cardboard thing that you put your phone in.
Yeah,
that was pretty cool.
That's butt cheeks, though.
It sucks compared to the real thing.
Sucks compared to
I figured. All right, guys. Well, let's go ahead and move on to some news. I want to talk about the Vanic Bitcoin ETF. Drop a 1 in chat if you know what that is, because if you've been in cryptocurrency for less than a year, you probably have no idea what words I just said, let alone what they mean. The Vanic Bitcoin ETF was a huge topic in cryptocurrency back in 2018 and 2019. Let me start by explaining what an ETF is. An exchange-traded fund is something that is traded on a stock market. It's called a derivative of an underlying asset. So back up, those are the words. What do they mean? Bitcoin is an asset. It is something that you can invest in the same way that this coffee mug or this really expensive microphone or this computer or the camera that this is shooting on is an asset. Bitcoin is an asset in the same way that gold is an asset. They're also called commodities. Those are not the same two words, but they are both applicable to Bitcoin. An exchange-traded fund is something like a piece of paper that says, I own a share of this asset. It's not a stock because it's a derivative. A stock is an actual fraction of the ownership of it. In the same way, when you buy physical Bitcoin, you are actually buying a fraction of the blockchain. But if you buy something that says, I buy this little piece of paper that says, I bought Bitcoin at $58,000 and I bought 1 Bitcoin, that can be a derivative. Even if you didn't buy actual Bitcoin, you just bought ownership of saying I bought it here. It's called a derivatives market. I'm not going to get into all the derivatives markets. It's not actually that important. Do study it though, because remember guys, we talk about how being growth oriented and aggressively hungry for knowledge is how you will succeed in these markets. Point is, a Bitcoin ETF is how Bitcoin could end up getting traded, in a way anyway, on the stock market. It's a way that people on the Chicago Mercantile Exchange and people on the New York Stock Exchange could potentially start trading Bitcoin and buying Bitcoin into their 401ks and their Roth IRAs and their retirement funds and all of the different investment vehicles that people use. This is a huge deal because we have a massive amount of people in this world that do not understand cryptocurrency, and quite frankly, they probably never will. I'm talking about the older generation and people that aren't very tech savvy. It's very hard for some people to wrap their heads around this, and therefore they don't trust it. But now, many people are starting to trust cryptocurrencies. Why? Not because a couple of 20-year-olds on YouTube are saying, hey, Bitcoin's the next big thing, but because major companies and major power players in finance are saying, hey, this is the next big thing. They're trusting the big names. So when these people that don't trust Bitcoin start seeing Bitcoin be traded on stock exchanges and the New York Stock Exchange, worth $30 trillion worth of valuation under it, starts trading cryptocurrency ETFs, this would be revolutionary. This would be one of the largest news stories that has ever happened in the history of cryptocurrency. And this news story just got opened back up this morning. I saw this on CoinDesk and I about jumped out the freaking building with excitement, dude. The Securities and Exchange Commission publishes VanEx Bitcoin ETF application again. For any of our old fans, you will know that again should follow this because this happened several times, kicking off the decision clock. I remember for like 3 months in 2018, this is all I was talking about on the channel. The regulator now has 45 days to approve or deny the application or extend the review period. By the way, before we even get into this, the SEC loves extending the review period, so this is probably what will end up happening. Hopefully they will approve this. Let's see here. The United States Securities and Exchange Commission acknowledged VanEx 19B4 form for its Bitcoin exchange-traded fund application on Monday, formally kicking off its 45-day window to make an initial decision on the proposal. If approved, the ETF would be the first open Bitcoin exchange-traded product, that's called an ETP, in the U.S., though there has long been demand for such a product from the cryptocurrency community. Historically, the SEC has rejected every single Bitcoin ETF application, including VanEx's past efforts. VanEx and BlackRock and other companies have been trying to do this for years, and they have consistently failed, citing potential for market manipulation and a host of other concerns. So guys, one of the major concerns that we are running into with these Bitcoin ETFs is that the Securities and Exchange Commission isn't confident that these ETFs are going to be able to source price data accurately. They're worried that there's going to be market manipulation. For example, Gemini, an exchange founded by the Winklevoss twins, who had something to do with Facebook being founded, they started the Gemini exchange and they tried to launch their own Bitcoin ETF. The SEC was very concerned that Gemini could have market manipulation underpinning its price data. So many ETFs are now trying to find ways of getting amalgamations of price data and assuaging those fears from the SEC. All of that's technical jargon. If you don't care, that's fine. The point is, a massive adoption story is on the horizon, and even if you don't know what all of these terms mean and you don't care to learn, that's okay. Pay attention to whether or not this goes through, because as someone that does understand this, I can tell you right now, this is a big deal. And the fact that this launched at the same time that we're seeing Cardano rally and get adopted by Coinbase, at the same time that we're seeing stimulus checks come in, at the same time that we're about to see tax returns coming in the next couple of months, at the same time that Bitcoin is at all-time high and looks like technically it's about to go farther, this is a huge news story. So I want to open the table for a second. I have been rambling for long enough. What are we seeing in the chat, Smay, and do you have anything to add to that, my friend?
I have nothing to add, but I've seen some more. I see some people asking about Harmony One. I don't know if you ever heard of about that, but
Harmony One.
Yeah.
I was about to say no, but I think I may have actually heard of that cryptocurrency. Harmony with the ticker symbol 1. It is ranked number 92. Yeah, I've never heard of it. I'm just going to be honest. I've never heard of it. I have the CoinMarketCap page up right now, but I don't know the first thing about it.
At least it's in the top 100. You know
Yes.
what I mean? Like,
yes, absolutely. So, guys, there's one thing I want to throw out on the table here, and that is the golden rule of investment, because we're about to talk about Bitcoin, and we're about to talk about why I personally think it is a fantastic time to be buying into Bitcoin and Cardano. However, before we go there, I want to talk with Smay for a second about the golden rule of investment. Smay, would you like to give your take on this, and then I'm going to elaborate?
yeah. So I just to kind of like give the simple I'll go ahead and dive into what that even means. So the golden rule of investment basically is don't invest more than you're willing to lose.
Amen.
That's essentially like the that's how it works. So with the with the stimulus checks, there's a lot of there were a lot of people who depended on the stimulus checks to actually get by, to pay their bills, to, and I know a lot of people, for some people that doesn't really, because they're like, oh, well, I'm doing fine now. I have a job, COVID's over, whatever. There's still families that are kind of still struggling, right? And that was the whole point of the stimulus check in the first place.
Someone said with my stimmy, I bought CT2A.
Yeah.
There you go.
That's a good
Let's go. That's a good
there.
investment right there.
But anyways, so it's like one of those things that's just like, a lot of people needed to spend that money on things to get by, and that's just how it is.
Mm-hmm.
So it was a good that's why it when we're talking about the golden rule, right? It's like a lot of people are planning, and I know a lot of people here, you guys are planning on spending your entire stimulus checks and investing it, right? And if that's something you can do, by all means, go for it. But at the same time, don't feel pressured that you have to. You know what I mean? Like, this is one of the things, like, be very wise with your investments. Like, if you're banking on making a profit before you can pay your rent or something, or you're banking to, make a profit, and, a lot of you guys is not the case. So if this is not speaking to you, then you can kind of just ignore it. But what I'm saying is, for the people that actually are kind of trying to think really risky with this kind of stuff, if you needed that stimulus check to get by, or you needed it to help out a family member or something like that, that should in your life take precedence over investments. And then investments is like, okay, I'm comfortable, I can invest my money and invest in myself. And then if that's the way, if that's where you line up your priorities,
yeah,
then I think that's
I think that's a really good point. That actually just reminded me of something that I'd like to tell you guys. This is the way I view money. There are 5 places that you should put money, and here are the 5 places. This is the order that I think you should put them into. This is my opinion. This may change depending on your situation. This is not, if you don't do this, you may very well have a good reason. But the way I see it as a Christian, number 1 is spending money on God and ministry and how I can give back to my community. That's the number 1 thing I spend money on. That's where the principle of tithing comes from. Number 2 is saving an emergency fund, making sure you have 6 to 12 months of emergency liquid capital on hand so that if stuff hits the fan like we just saw with COVID, you are able to pay your bills and survive. The next way you should spend your money, so we have God, emergency savings. The next one is investment. So it's not number 1. Investing is not number 1. In the same way, my priority list for where I put my focus in business is God, family, business. If there's not an emergency with God or family, I am all in on building this channel and building this company. So 99 days out of 100, that's my one and only focus. That's what I am doing with my life. So with our spending of our money, it's God. For me, again, if you're not religious, that's fine. I'm not trying to pressure that on you. I'm just telling you mine. It's God, emergency savings, investments, number 3. Then my necessities. The reason necessities are number 4 for me is because if my necessities are really high and I don't have the ability to do this, I need to either make more money or I need to spend less money, and my necessities need to go down. And then after that, pleasure. That's where the toys come in. If you want to go buy a Corvette or a Lambo, be financially prudent with these first four: God, emergency savings, investment, necessities. Then you get to play with your toys. That's how we want to look at money. And guys, the reason I bring this up is not to preach to you. It's not to do all of that. The reason I bring this up is because our job here at this channel is not actually to teach you cryptocurrency. Our job is deeper than that. Our job is to help provide you with financial freedom. That is the entire mission statement of our company, is we want to help you reshuffle the deck because you might have been dealt a bad hand, and help you achieve financial freedom. And if you're not following those golden rules of money, it's going to bite you. So the actual golden rule of investing is never invest more than you're willing to lose. If you cannot afford to do the whole God emergency saving, then don't be investing. If you can't pay your bills and you can't do your necessities, then be careful with investing. Yeah. If you're putting off buying a Lambo so that you can invest, that's fine. Good for you. Invest first. That's great. But the golden rule of crypto says if you can't afford to pay your bills and you don't have an emergency fund and you're not giving back to other people, be careful with investment, because you can lose money and there is risk that's carried along with this. The reason I bring that up is because we are about to make some ambitious price predictions on Bitcoin and Cardano, and I want to make sure you guys are being financially prudent, because it's not my job to get you hyped up. It's my job to ensure that you have financial success and freedom moving into the future. So it's my duty to explain these concepts to you. I hope that helped. Smay, what's up?
And I was just going to say, like, guys, to piggyback on that, and just to wrap this out, is like you just said, the reason why we're talking about it, but we also talk about cryptocurrency, guys, because we think it's a great investment.
Yes.
So once you have your priorities straight, which a lot of you guys do, so we're not even saying this
a lot
to
of
say,
you do.
oh, you guys don't know what you're doing. We're saying, hey guys, a lot of you guys do, but anyone who is in this audience that doesn't have that mindset, hey, before we even go into the fact that, yeah, we think Bitcoin and Cardano and cryptocurrencies are great investments. And that's why we even talk about them. Because our goal is financial freedom, we wouldn't be talking about cryptocurrency and have that goal if we didn't believe in cryptocurrency.
The funny thing is, go ahead. I'm sorry, go ahead.
No, so I'm saying, yeah, so it's like we're talking about cryptocurrency because we think it's a great investment.
Yeah.
And we think you guys should invest in cryptocurrency. And now, but in order to get to that point, to tell you guys, hey, these are great coins to invest in, you got to actually kind of have a better foundation to say, all right, well, I'm not going to just throw all my money and try to make quick bucks and, you know, like that ruins people.
Yeah.
A lot of people's lives get ruined over having that mindset. So you have to be like, okay, I'm going to be wise with my investments.
That's what I was about to say. You don't get rich by picking the right coin. You get rich by having wisdom and understanding the mindsets that are going to lead you to financial success. Because I'll be honest with you guys, you can get rich in cryptocurrency. You can get rich in the sewage business. You can get rich running a crane company. You can get rich scrubbing people's windows. You can get rich doing whatever the hell you want. You're not going to get rich because of crypto. You're going to get rich because of how you approach cryptocurrency. Please understand that, guys. If cryptocurrency was the only way to get rich, then there wouldn't be billionaires in every other industry. The reason that they got rich and they got wealthy was not because they picked the right stock. It was because they picked the right mindset and they had the right philosophy about life. That's why we talk about that so much. I think we want to move on here a little bit.
Yeah.
Let's talk about... Let's see. Okay, I think it's actually time for us to move on to our Bitcoin TA.
Yeah,
How you
let's do
sound?
some TA. I like
Let's
that.
do some technical analysis on Bitcoin, guys. I have quite a bit to show you on Bitcoin. Drop a 1 in chat if you're excited, and let's get started. We're not going to do blank-to-bank TA on Bitcoin right now because there is much to cover, and there is quite a bit that's very important here. The very first thing I want to do is outline this. I'm actually going to go to this chart and I'm going to clear it up. So actually, I take that back. We're going to do blank-to-bank TA. Let's go ahead and do that, guys. For everyone who doesn't know, blank-to-bank technical analysis is the format of technical analysis where we take a completely blank chart and I show you how to take it all the way up to a well-done chart so that you can bank by trading and investing in it. That's blank to bank. Let's get started. The very first thing we have to do is draw our levels of support and resistance. We have resistance levels right here and here. Back on February the 21st, we rallied to $58,400 and set a new all-time high. Just a couple of days ago, on March the 13th, we rallied to $62,000 and set a new all-time high. We also have a strong level of support, which I will switch to blue for support, down at $43,000. Those are our major levels. I'm also going to put one down here at the bottom right there at 53,000, and I'm going to put a level of support right here at 54,000, as these are two of the bottoms that we have seen recently. This is support for Bitcoin. However, the major support level I actually want to show you is not a flat level of support. It's actually an uptrend. Going down to the 4-hourly chart, I can show you this uptrend right here, and I'll switch it to blue for support. Bitcoin has been following this uptrend for the last several months, especially if you look on the linear chart. This will show up quite a lot. For all of you who don't know, right down here, you can switch between a logarithmic chart and a linear chart. Sometimes you want to switch back and forth and see which one is more relevant. Right now, the linear chart is actually more relevant for this kind of charting. This uptrend shows up better here. I'm going to leave it on the linear chart. I'm going to leave it on the log chart, which is this chart, as that's the one I am more comfortable with. There is another level of resistance we need to look at, which is right here. As you can see, we have an uptrending level of support as defined by these bottoms, and an uptrending level of resistance as defined by our 2 previous all-time high touches. For anyone who has gone through the Cryptocurrency Technical Analysis Academy, you will know that there is a video in here talking about trend lines. In this video and in our video on wedges and pennants, we cover the idea of a rising wedge. This is what's known as a rising wedge. And funnily enough, we're about to make a bullish call on Bitcoin, but 70% of the time, statistically, remember guys, technical analysis is not about perfect calls. It's about statistics and probabilities. Statistically, Bitcoin should actually break bearish here. I don't necessarily think that's going to happen, but statistically, from the technical analysis standpoint, these normally break bearish. We could see a pullback to like $53,000, maybe even low as 43. Again, I don't think that's going to happen though, and I'll show you why. Even though Bitcoin looks like it's about to have a bearish cross on MACD, the fundamental arguments we're making in this video I think are so very strong that we're not going to have to worry about a big break to the downside on Bitcoin. In fact, when we get to the price predictions, I happen to already know what Tim has predicted for Bitcoin, and he agrees with me. We think that we're about to break all-time high and go even farther. The reason for that is because of these news stories like the SEC talking about Bitcoin Vanic Bitcoin ETF application. Also, this right here, the Federal Reserve Chair Jerome Powell is talking bullish about Bitcoin and how it is a hedge against the US dollar. There is a lot going on fundamentally right now that is incredibly strong and bullish for the cryptocurrency market. Even looking at the RSI, we can see that we have much more room to run. We're sitting at 60. If we look at the volume, we can see that volume is higher in the last 4 days than we have seen recently. It's been trending to the upside. Even though this moving average hasn't trended up just yet, the volume is higher than it has been in a while. Also, on top of that, we just gained support at the 20 daily EMA. So we could be totally wrong on this. But I think, based on what we're seeing happening on Cardano, and based on what we're seeing happening on several other cryptocurrency projects, that Bitcoin is about to move to the upside. And we're going to talk about my price prediction later, but I'll give you a hint. I think it's going to be somewhere around this level of resistance up here with a slightly new all-time high figure in just the next couple of days. Because if we look down on the hourly chart, you can see that Bitcoin right now is in a little bit of a downtrend. You might think, oh no, Jeb, Bitcoin's in a downtrend. Needn't fear. The bull flag is here because that's what this is. This is a bull flag on Bitcoin, guys. Whenever Bitcoin rallies, pulls back a little bit, these break bullish 70% of the time, and I'm inclined to agree with this bull flag and the idea that we're going to break north here. It makes a lot of sense that Bitcoin would do that. So guys, that's my analysis on Bitcoin. There's not really much to write home about right now other than I think Bitcoin is going to rally because of fundamental reasons. This is one of the big things we like to teach you guys is the difference between fundamental and technical analysis, because sometimes you need to listen to one, sometimes you need to listen to the other. Right now, the fundamentals are clear. One final thing, on the hourly chart, you can see that there's an inverse head and shoulders pattern, so it makes sense that Bitcoin has rallied this far. We can see the neckline was right here, and the price target put Bitcoin rallying to about $60,200. That very well may be in the cards for the next 24 hours. We will get to that in our price prediction here in just a little bit. Guys, that's my technical analysis on Bitcoin. Smay, do you have any thoughts on that? Any thoughts on where Bitcoin might be heading?
Yeah, I think everything right now is making it kind of, we're all looking at, all these indicators are saying, hey, we're looking at a rally.
Yes.
I'm feeling that. Like, that's what my gut's telling me. I honestly, like, I'm seeing some people say in the comments, people are shorting it, it's going to go down, it's going to whatever. I don't believe it. I think, yeah. And hey, I could absolutely be wrong. I mean, that's the thing with cryptocurrency, guys. As much as you can try to predict it, it's still, in a sense, is unpredictable.
Yes.
So, I believe, based off of all the indicators, and not even just the indicators, but also the fundamental indicators, that, hey, we're going to be seeing a rally pretty soon. But, hey, I could be wrong. I mean, that's just the nature of cryptocurrency. It's very volatile. It's very unpredictable. So we'll see. But I have a feeling that it's probably going to rally like you said. Yeah,
and guys, that's one of the final points we want to make here before we move on to 2-minute technicals is, I know I've said this a couple times during this stream, and maybe I'm repeating myself. Maybe I shouldn't even go here again. But I'm going to say it because it is important. There's a difference between fundamental analysis. That's looking at all of the adoption metrics. That's looking at how many people are using the market. That's looking at the regulatory clarity. That's looking at the infrastructure in place for onboarding cryptocurrency into the real world. Fundamentals are incredibly important. Technical analysis is incredibly important. Fundamental analysis is more of the long-term play. If you're looking for the underlying intrinsic value of a cryptocurrency, we've talked about the difference between the value and the price. Bitcoin's price might be $58,000, but hell, its value might be $200,000 right now. Maybe that's where it should be. Let's call that its value. Fundamental analysis is really good for ascertaining what the value of a cryptocurrency is and how that value is changing. Technical analysis is really good for ascertaining what the price of Bitcoin is and how the price of Bitcoin will change. Now, obviously, we can see the Bitcoin price. We can just look at it and say, today on the Bitcoin price, it is doing this. However, value, you can't really do that. Value is not something you can see. Value as far as market capitalization you can see, but the underlying intrinsic value of Bitcoin is unmeasurable. It's ethereal. It's just kind of out there. You have to feel it. It's like gravity. You can't see it, but you can see its effects. Technical analysis is great for understanding the price and what the price will do in the short term and the medium term. Fundamental analysis is incredibly powerful for determining what something will do in the long term. And this is a difference that we need to understand when we're doing analysis on these charts. Even though technically speaking, right now, even though we've rallied over the last 24 hours, the technicals actually say that we should probably have a pullback on Bitcoin because we're about to see a bearish MACD cross. We might not have it happen, but we're close. The volume is increasing, but it's still relatively low. We're in a rising wedge that traditionally would break bearish, but I'm not inclined to agree with those technicals because I understand that technical analysis will be overruled by fundamental analysis sometimes. That's what happened with our Cardano prediction. All of our technical analysis was saying, hey, Cardano should drop to 72 cents. And then what happened? News dropped 4 hours later that Cardano was being added to Coinbase. We couldn't have predicted that. That's an example of fundamental analysis overriding technical analysis. Someone said in the comments of that stream, they said, hey, Jeb, your technical analysis was wrong. Fundamental analysis changed. I'm like, yes, that's what we're saying. The technical analysis can be overridden by fundamental sometime. It's an important distinction. I think I've made my piece on that. So, do we see anything great going on in the comments section?
A lot of people are very interested in your accent. They want to know what accent you were trying to do there.
In my accent, I was making a reference to Crypto. Shout out to him. Today on the Bitcoin price. I don't know how to. Yeah, I don't know what his. Do you know where he's from?
No.
Shout out to Crypto. Go watch his channel. He's a pretty big YouTuber. Congratulations on your growth, my friend. As far as my accent, I'm from Gatlinburg, Tennessee. So
Tennessee boy. There
yes,
we go.
I'm from the hill country, if you know what I mean. I like to make moonshine on the side. No, I'm kidding. Anyway, guys, let's go ahead and open the floor for a little bit of discussion, and then we are going to go ahead and move on to 2-minute technicals on Ethereum. So, guys, let's look at the chat and let's see what you guys have. I am looking right here. German. He's German. That makes sense. German. That makes sense.
I see this question. I don't know if you see it from EFI or whatever. Would you mind explaining the indicator? Whatever Japanese
Ichimoku Cloud.
Yeah, thank you.
Ichimoku Cloud is kind of a complicated indicator, and it's an indicator that I have done a lot of research on in the past because I don't know why, but in 2019, everybody wanted me to use Ichimoku, and then all of a sudden, nobody cared anymore. I don't know why the hype around Ichimoku died down. I did a lot of research on Ichimoku. I used it for a couple of months to toy around with it. I didn't like it all that much, to be honest with you. Guys, okay. Technical analysis gets overcomplicated sometimes. So in CT2A, we have a video called How to Spot a Winning Indicator in Pattern. I'll show you. It's literally right here. It's a free preview video, actually. If you want to go and watch this video, it's totally free. You can go click the link in the description box down below. You can watch this video, How to Spot a Winning Indicator in Pattern. In this video, if you go over there, you'll find that I explain how to spot a winning indicator in pattern. One of the most important things for spotting a winning indicator is the adoption of said indicator. If you'll notice, every single indicator I use in my videos, volume, the 20 exponential moving average, the MACD, the RSI, support and resistance levels, basic trend lines, basic moving averages, even Bollinger Bands is a little bit more obscure, but it's not very obscure. These have widespread adoption. A lot of people are looking at them. Ichimoku is not widespread. A lot of people don't even know what Ichimoku Cloud is. Give me a 1 in chat if you've never even heard of the Ichimoku Cloud. Technical indicators, for them to be powerful, generally speaking, not always, but generally speaking, they need to be widespread adopted so that when people see them flash a signal, they make a certain trade. Technical indicators in mass psychology have a duality relationship where they both impact each other. The mass psychology of the market will impact whether or not a technical indicator is followed, and a technical indicator will impact how the psychology of the market is doing. For example, if TD sequential flashes 9, most people are going to look at that and say, oh man, I need to sell, right? That's not the only way that technical indicators get their power, but generally speaking, it's a big component of it. Ichimoku Cloud does not have as much adoption as the other indicators that we use. And quite frankly, I'm just not the biggest fan of it. I probably am going to make a video on it in CT2A, which, by the way, for everyone who's in CT2A, huge updates. Excuse me, guys. Oh my gosh. I need to make sure I have some water. Huge updates are coming to CT2A relatively soon. We're talking in the next 6 months or so, and we may go ahead and make a video on Ichimoku. Good question. It's not my favorite, though. So, Smay, what are we seeing going on in chat as we both just choke up our lungs? I don't know what's going on.
Alex W asks, what's the difference between linear and logarithmic charts?
Right, so let's go ahead and jump on over to the log chart. I will explain that because that's a pretty basic concept that you guys should know if you don't know. This is actually another thing that we talk about in CT2A in a free preview video. I'm not trying to shill CT2A, by the way. We normally only bring it up once in a show, but this is actually really useful for you, so I am going to talk about it. We have a free video over here called How to Set Up and Use TradingView. That's this software that we work in. It's a complicated software. It took me several months to get comfortable in it when I got into cryptocurrency. We have a 35-minute long video over here explaining all of it. If you are interested in learning about logarithm versus linear, in that video, I go into depth about the differences between those two. I'm going to give you a basic overview really quickly, but if you want more detail on that, I'm pretty sure that I talked about it in that video. Guys, if you've been through a math class, you will know what logarithm is. It is a method by which you scale a chart based on percentage movements rather than dollar value movements. So let me show you something right here. If I move about, let's say, like on my screen, this is about an inch. This is, let's say, 100 pixels. Notice how this is 43% rally right here. And then right down here, this is 43% rally right here. But notice, it's 40 some odd percent rally, but it's only $800 to the upside. Up here, it's 40 some odd percent rally, about $7,000 to the upside. If I go to a linear chart and I do the same thing, it's going to be the same on the dollar value movement, 12,000 versus 12,000, but the percentage movement will change. So you're scaling the chart on log based on percentage movements, but on a linear chart, you're scaling the chart based off of linear movements. If you look at our vertical column over here, you can see every single stretch is $2,000, $2,000, $2,000, $2,000 in between because it is based off of a linear change in the value of the price. However, if we go over here and we measure the exact same size, this is 100%, in the same way this is 100%, in the same way this is 100%, but the dollar value itself is changing. So log scales based off of percentage movements, and linear scales based off of, well, linear movements between the dollar value or the whatever the trading pair value is. That's a good question. That's a very basic overview of it. Go take a college algebra class or something if you want to learn more about logarithm. It is... It's not terribly complicated, but it can be kind of hard to wrap your head around at the beginning. What do we see in chat? Otherwise, I'm going to move on to Ethereum.
Nothing too crazy, so I'd say let's go ahead and move on to Ethereum.
Good deal, guys. We're going to move on to some 2-minute technicals on Ethereum, and as usual, it will probably go a little bit over 2 minutes, but that's okay. Let's go ahead and jump on over to the chart, guys. Ethereum is one of my largest holdings in cryptocurrency, just behind Bitcoin. We talk about how much we love Ethereum sometimes. Excuse me, we talk about how much we love Cardano a lot of times. That does not mean we don't like Ethereum. We do like both of those projects in the same way that Apple and Microsoft have somewhat similar companies, but they're both trillion-dollar organizations. One is not necessarily just going to annihilate the other. Both of them can live in harmony, and right now they are. Ethereum, over the last 24 hours, has had a slight correction. And one of the things I'm concerned about on Ethereum is the fact that there very well may be a bearish cross coming to the MACD relatively soon. Looking down on the 4-hourly chart also, there's something else that we need to look at. Ethereum had an uptrending level of support that we were watching for quite a few days here. Unfortunately, we have now broken below it, and we're using it as resistance. If we look on the log chart here, we can see that we have now rejected off of it about 12 hours ago. We rallied up to a local high of $18,050, and unfortunately, we have broken bearish. You can see the support zone that we drew in yesterday's live stream between 1720 and 1740. That's going to need to hold on Ethereum, but the issue is if it does hold, then guess what this looks like, guys? It looks like a head and shoulders pattern that would push the price all the way down, more than likely, to $1,400. That being said, in the same manner that we need to be careful about our technical analysis on Bitcoin right now, we need to be careful about our technical analysis on Ethereum right now. Technical analysis is very important, but with all of the fundamental developments coming, if Bitcoin starts to rally against its own technicals, you can bet your bottom dollar that Ethereum will more than likely do the same. It would be a safe investment. It'd be a safe bet. The technicals right now on Bitcoin and Ethereum actually point to the downside, but the fundamental developments going on around this space call that movement into question. So the reason I didn't even spend like 15 seconds on Ethereum there is because I actually showed you everything you need to know. You need to see if the MACD is going to correct. You need to see if there's an inverse head and shoulders pattern coming and there's a strong support zone at 1720 to 1740. But the thing you really need to know is what the fundamentals are doing, which is what this entire stream has been about. So any questions on that? I want to hear your take also, Smay, on what your thoughts on Ethereum are and its current price. What do you think, my friend?
I honestly, I think that right now, because of how great Cardano's doing, it feels like a lot of people are starting to kind of lose faith in Ethereum. I do want to just say this, though. Honestly, guys, Ethereum is the first of its kind to do what it's doing, right? And obviously, it's going to have some outdated things. You know, the gas fees are bad, and it's like maybe it's not going to be as... And Cardano's saying, hey, we're fixing all this, fixing all this. That's great. That's why we're excited about Cardano. But Ethereum, it's not like Ethereum's not going to, you know, address these problems, right? It's like we've already heard about Ethereum 2.0 and them trying to implement this. Like, guys, if you're invested in Ethereum, I really don't think you should worry at all.
Absolutely.
I think it's a great investment. I just think it's like there is a lot. It's hard because there is a lot of like you know, like that meme where it's like the guy looks back and looks at the other girl or whatever. Yeah. That's basically what people are feeling right now. It's because they'll be like, oh, Cardano.
They're both hot, but you know.
Oh, Cardano. You know, it's like, no, guys, come on. You can be invested in both.
Yep.
And I think, say if you just, I want to go all in on Cardano, I want to go all in on Ethereum, you should be pretty comfortable with that investment because I think both are great investments. And Ethereum 2.0 is going to change the game for Ethereum. So I think worrying about current, like now, would I say that you should use Ethereum to transfer stuff and use it the way it's like saying?
For decentralized finance?
Yeah. For right now, no way. I mean, like right now, the gas fees, you'd lose a ton of money. I just had a Dasa, he works here. He just lost so much money.
Yeah, he actually, I think he lost some of that Ethereum. I don't think that was all the gas fees because I asked it. Dasa told us that he had lost, I think he said he lost 33% of his Ethereum when he moved it. And I was like, I don't think that was gas fees. No, I'm pretty sure he sent it to the wrong wallet or something. Rest in peace for Dasa.
Now when you put it that way, that makes sense. But still,
that's what he thought.
Yeah, but still, you know, the gas fees are really bad.
No, they are really bad.
Which is why it was one of those things that's like...
There's not $1,400 per transaction. Bad.
Yeah. I would hold. I would buy. I don't know if I would actually use it to transfer stuff.
Yeah.
We're not quite there yet. But when Ethereum 2.0 comes out, I think, guys, that's going to be... I mean, we're seeing there's going to be so many improvements. When people say, when you see Mark Cuban and all these people, they hey, guys, DeFi is the future. They're talking about Ethereum.
Yep.
They're talking about Ethereum, and you know, maybe some of them maybe Cardano, some of them Polkadot. Polkadot, I don't really see as a decentralized finance. That's just
that's not his point. Yeah.
Yeah, I would say that honestly, Ethereum is that future. So it's gonna improve. It's gonna take time. It's gonna improve over time, and it's gonna be really great and efficient at what it does. So I think it's a great investment. I don't think people should get worried about it right now.
2 points to make on that, guys, and we're coming close to the end of the stream, so we'll go ahead and make our predictions on. I think we're gonna talk about Bitcoin. 2 points. Number one, patience. Number one, patience, because a lot of people want Ethereum to be the future of decentralized finance tomorrow or this week or this month or this quarter or this year. These things take time, guys. Let me ask you a question. When did the internet start? Everybody knows that, like, okay, it's 1995. Everybody's going on television and talk shows saying, this is the World Wide Web. Let me explain. Like, you remember back then, if you're over the age of 35, you probably remember when the internet was coming online. When I ask you the question, when was the internet started, you might scratch your head and say, 1993? 1990? 1969. The internet was founded as something called ARPANET. It had 3 connections. And by the way, go look this up. The first 3 characters ever sent over the internet were actually LOL. I'm not even joking. They were trying to send the word login. They typed LO, the system crashed, and then they typed login again. So the first 3 letters on the internet were LOL. That's just a cool piece of trivia. The internet was originally founded so that the military and so that universities could contact each other and could be in data networks with each other over long distance. There were 3 nodes. That was the foundation of the internet in 1969. It would take 24 years before the internet, before ARPANET started to develop into the World Wide Web and the internet, before it actually started reaching mass adoption. By the way, guys, Ethereum's 6 years old. Ethereum is so far ahead of the game. Yes, it has problems, and we will not shy from telling you what those problems are. It has energy problems in the same way Bitcoin has energy problems. It has transactional throughput problems in the same way that Bitcoin has transactional throughput problems. These cryptocurrencies have their issues. High fees, high latency. There are problems. But the internet had problems in 1975, didn't it? It's not fair to say, hey, why are you not fixing this yet? There is progress being made. We will tell you the flaws, and we will tell you that it needs to change, and we will tell you if it doesn't change quickly enough, a competitor like Cardano might come along and steal the show. That is very true, but the fact of the matter is you have to be patient because innovation does not happen overnight, and that leads me to my second point, which is let's not look away from Ethereum and say, we're going to go all in on Cardano and just forget about Ethereum because Cardano is the next big thing. A lot of people have been talking about how my mic just fell. A lot of people have been talking about how Cardano doesn't have the mass adoption that Ethereum has in the blockchain industry right now. You're absolutely right. You're totally right. Cardano is a lot more speculative than Ethereum is. And Ethereum's very speculative. So don't go jumping ship from Ethereum on full into Cardano, even though Cardano is doing really well, just because Ethereum has problems. Both of these cryptocurrencies have strong futures. They have strong development teams behind them. Are either of them perfect? No. Neither am I, neither are you, neither is any project. Certainly neither is Bitcoin, by the way. That's an unpopular opinion. Try and get a global currency to deal with 7 transactions a second. That's something that needs to be rectified on Bitcoin. Lightning Network is trying to improve upon that. But look to the power players. And that's the final point I want to make in this entire show. Is that a lot of people look for a number 100 or a number 200 or a number 300 altcoin, and they say, look at this altcoin. This altcoin does this. Buy this altcoin. The problem is that altcoin might be doing the exact same thing that Ethereum or Cardano or Bitcoin could do. So why would you buy that project if there's already one there? Let me ask you a question. There's a startup. The year is 2020. There's a startup, and this startup comes to you and it says, hey, we are going to come up with something called a search engine on the World Wide Web, and you'll be able to go and type in what you want to find in the web page you want to find, and then it'll pop up. Oh, and we're also going to have this functionality where we have maps of the whole world. You're going to say, oh, you're Google? No, we're Hoogle. You're 20 years late to the party. I'm sorry. Some of these altcoins that we're dealing with in the cryptocurrency space, they already exist. They don't have first-to-market advantage. They're not first movers. So that's my final point in this video. Just because Cardano and Ethereum have some issues, you don't necessarily need to go and jump ship to a number 200 altcoin that's not proven and doesn't have a user base. Just because 10,000 people think it's a great coin does not necessarily mean that it is. It might be. For example, we looked into Ravencoin the other day. I actually kind of like Ravencoin. But the thing I have the question of, and I need to do more research on this, is what Ravencoin proposing, can that be done on Ethereum? And if so, why would I invest in Ravencoin if it can be built on Ethereum? Good question. I don't know. I'm uneducated in this space. That's a genuine question. Anyway, guys, off my soapbox. I just want to make sure that we're thinking about cryptocurrency investments the right way because, again, that mindset is what's going to drive your ability to properly use the tools. If a carpenter knows how to use a lathe and all the different tools he needs, that's great. But if he doesn't have the artistic vision to make something beautiful, no one's ever going to buy his product. In the same way, just because you know technical and fundamental analysis, but you don't have the mindset and the wisdom, I don't care if you know technical and fundamental analysis. It's not going to help you. What are your thoughts on that, Smay?
Well, kind of to say what you were saying with that analogy you used, the only way that then you could say that, okay, a project is, say somebody did come in and say, oh, I'm going to make a browser in 2020 that is going to, do everything basically what Google does. The only way that then you succeed in that project would be, Google's very well known, but it has a ton of very big flaws. Mm-hmm. Let me fix those flaws and make a better browser. I mean, obviously, still, Google's going to hold a huge market share. Mm-hmm. But you can get your foot, like Brave browser.
I was about to say that, Brave,
And you can have your space in that market. So it's the same with Ethereum, Cardano, and other altcoins. Like, it's not to say, when we say, oh, is another coin doing it better, it's not like we're saying, oh, that coin will never, ever, ever succeed or go up in price or whatever. Yep. It's like, no, just really weigh the like, are they actually even doing it good? Because an idea is an idea. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? So I can say I made this coin that is the greatest coin in the world, guys. It gives you free money. It's a great coin. It's like, oh, it sounds like a great project. I love it. Let's get it. It doesn't mean that I'm actually accomplishing anything with it. So it's like, that's what you have to kind of weigh. Is it even actually backed by good people that are working on it and actually making a good project?
Yep.
Those are the questions you kind of got to ask. Not to say that an altcoin can't succeed, because at some point, Ethereum was just another altcoin.
Exactly.
So
and that's the thing you have to understand, guys, is that I'm not saying that startups will just always fail. I'm not saying that startups will just always fail. Hey, Zach. Zach is editing the comment. Can you switch back to me?
Oh, I'm sorry.
Thank you. I'm not saying startups are always going to fail. I'm not saying that Google couldn't come out and win the whole search engine game. The Brave browser is competing with these major industries. The issue is Brave has differentiating factors around the field of advertising. I love Brave Browser. And by the way, Basic Attention Token that's native on that, that's a good altcoin. When you want to talk about an altcoin, that has a use case. That has a way of driving value to itself. I like that altcoin. There are altcoins I like. However, whenever you're watching the David and Goliath story, David wins sometimes. Because sometimes Goliath gets cocky and he gets hit upside the head with that stone. Sometimes. But you know what happens 9 times out of 10? Goliath beats the crap out of David and he gets screwed and he goes out of business. If a David cryptocurrency wants to go up against the Goliath Ethereum or Bitcoin, it better have strong fundamentals. It better have a strong differentiating factor. It better have a strong team. And if it doesn't have a very strong team, it's probably not worth your time. So that's my point. I'm not saying it can't happen. I am, however, saying normally the safe bet is going to be on Goliath. One final point on that. Sometimes you need crazy people to build something strong, and sometimes those crazy people aren't attracted to Goliath because Goliath's already there. They want to be on David's team.
Yeah.
And that's a very important point for adoption of small companies and cryptocurrencies. Yeah. Anyway, guys, that's really my final point on all of that. I think we're going to go ahead and move on to our predictions on Bitcoin.
Yes.
Definitely not high, Zach, who is definitely not high. We'll be reading Tim's prediction. Smay, would you like to go first? I already have mine.
Oh, you already have yours. Okay.
I do.
Do we even know we're doing Bitcoin, right?
We're doing Bitcoin.
Okay, let me see. Does anybody report to me the price right now? For
the
Bitcoin?
price is $57,850.
57,000. I'm gonna say it's by tomorrow at 9:30. It is going to be 58.5.
58.5? Okay, I'm going to say 62.8. $62,800 one day from now. That's where I think Bitcoin is heading. Definitely not high, Zach, who's definitely not high. What did Tim make a prediction of? He actually sent in his prediction along with his little speech that he read at the beginning of the stream.
Yes.
Which, I actually, you know, I think it'd be funny if you read that speech again for everyone who just tuned in. Tim gave us a speech for Zach to read on his behalf since he's not here.
All right, we want to do the speech again?
Sure,
No,
sure.
no. Oh no, come on.
Do you not want to?
No, I don't want to. I don't want to hear that crap again.
Come on, it was funny.
I'll summarize it. I'll summarize it.
Okay,
I'll say,
summarize it.
This was not my victory, but our victory. Thank you for believing in me. I'm gonna have 4 more years. So
He said 4 more years.
I'll give you Big Body Tim his prediction. You know, Tim's an optimist. He's a president. He's a far reacher and a smooth talker. 64,000 is a lot though.
He thinks it's going to
I think
64K.
he's going to 64,000 tomorrow.
Hey, what I'm saying though,
And if he's right, I mean,
Zach's still Team Trees though. He's just reporting Tims. You know what I mean? He's
Hey, Smay's trying to
Actually,
recruit people over here.
He's been on my team.
Y'all, there's all kinds of dirty tactics going on the show right
You
now.
know, maybe I'm gonna just make my own team.
Whoa!
Oh, okay. Team
Keep it
definitely
back
not
and
high,
forth.
Zach.
Hey, you
But
can't
I-
do
I'm
that.
gonna
You can't
speak
do
up
that.
for
You can make
myself
your
up
own
in
team.
here.
Let's go.
Nah, bro.
Give us a team definitely not high Zach in chat if you want him to
Yes.
have his own team.
Hey, come on, guys.
You know what, Zach? What's your prediction?
My prediction?
What's your
You know what?
prediction?
I'm gonna go with 61.
61,000.
61,000?
All right, do you have them all written down,
No,
Smay?
I don't have yours written down.
You don't have mine written down.
So what's yours?
I freaking forgot. 62,400, I think is what I said. I don't know.
All right, 62.
I have it. I'm looking at the chart. Let me find it.
All right, Zach, you're 61.
I'm 61.
61.
You're 61. I thought you were 21.
61 flat.
I am. 61.4.
61.4.
I said 62.8 is what I said.
Okay, 62.8. And then what was Tim's?
Tim's is 64,457.
Wow, that's so specific.
I know.
64,
Oh, yeah, that's right.
Yep.
64,467.
I thought it was 32.
457.
457.
Yes, he said, oh, yeah, that's right. Tim said that he wanted to be very specific for, and I quote, kicks and giggles. So, even though Tim is not here, his spirit lives on in his notes.
Wow. Okay. Well, they're written down. Let's get it.
Tell us what team y'all are on. Are you on Team Jeb? Which you should be. Team Jeb. Let's hear it. Team Jeb in the chat. I want to see it. I'll give you a cookie if you join Team Jeb. That's totally not manipulation, but it definitely is the way
Listen, I
politics
have
works.
to create the cookie on the channel.
Yes.
So
We have to make a
Jack
cookie.
wins that
Join
one.
Team Smay. And here's the thing: if you guys spam Team Smay, I will never sit in this spot again. So if you guys,
No.
no, listen. This is great.
Okay.
Trust me. I'm saying I will not sit here. I will sit over there, right?
Okay.
And when I sit over there, I will have bought more cryptocurrencies, and I will no longer be I'm not a no coiner, but I will be a more coiner.
A more coiner. Let's
more
go.
coiner. So
Join Team Jeb.
Tim can take his spot back. I don't need to take Tim's spot. I'm saying I will return to my rightful place as a more coiner.
Spay. More coiners may. Join Team Jeb. However, we also have to mention Team definitely not high Zach. Tell us in chat if you're on team definitely not high Zach, who
Come
said
on, guys.
61. What do you say? 61?
61-4.
61-4.
It could happen.
Okay. Team definitely not high Zach. Let us know. You on team definitely not high Zach, or are you on team Tim, who said 64,000? 69,420. I don't know what he said. He said 64,000 something.
I'm not seeing any team Tim.
So guys, I think this stream is going to be cut short, specifically because we don't have Tim giving his prediction and presidential speeches.
It's true.
Today.
It's true.
Yeah.
So, thank us for that.
Yeah. Dang. Wow.
I'm kidding. All right, Team Smay, let's go. Team Smay, guys.
Team Jab. Team Jab, because I am for the people,
Really?
as we discussed.
So you guys, you know what's funny actually? I realized that I agreed with you that I thought it was going to go bullish, but my prediction is actually bearish.
Pessimist.
Or not really bearish. It's actually kind of, because it's right now it's 57. So you know.
Yeah, you think it's gonna go up a little bit?
It's gonna
go up a little bit.
It's gonna go up a little bit. I don't think it's gonna go super crazy. But you know, I was wrong about Cardano, guys. So we'll see. But I think at least I'm honest. I'm honest about my my thoughts on the matter. So join Team Smay, because we're not always perfect. We don't always get it right.
Yeah.
But at least we're we really try our hardest to get an honest prediction.
We do. That VR headset. So
he's got his VR headset.
It wasn't even an expensive VR headset. Like you guys act like I just blew all my money on the toy.
Yeah, he just forget the Lambo, dude. He want a VR headset.
It's like everyone who's like, oh, you should have bought more. I guarantee you, if I walked in your house right now, you have some sort of item in your house. You have a console. You have your
No, they
TV.
literally all they have is a lawn chair and a ham sandwich. That's all they got in their entire house.
They literally have a lawn chair and a ledger.
Yeah, and a ledger. There you go.
Just holding a ledger.
And they got his dinky laptop from 1997.
Yeah.
They're trading Bitcoin.
Yeah, it's like you guys you act like you never buy nice things. Come on, guys. Get out of here.
Let's buy nice things, guys. Let's buy some VR headset. Guys, I think that's going to wrap it out for today's live stream. Before I go, though, I do just first want to thank Team Smay, Team Tim, Team Definitely Not High Zach, and of course my constituents of Team Jeb for watching as always. And I will see you guys in the next video. Peace.